The Effects of a Bias Responding Procedure on Gambling Selection by Mia Brown. Gambling can be a fun and exciting social activity to experience with friends. Unfortunately, gambling disorders such as pathological gambling affect 0.2 to 5.3% of adults worldwide, according to Hodgins, Stia, and Grant. For this group of individuals, money wagering has negative effects in their private lives, causing lack of sleep and food deprivation, in their family lives, where people are neglecting milestones and significant prior arrangements, also possibly leading to divorce, and financially, for example, vehicles getting repossessed and homes falling into default. These claims lead behavior analysts to questions regarding why individuals display problem gambling behaviors and how these problem behaviors can be manipulated. Numerous studies have been published to address gambling and the possible variables that elicit gambling behavior. According to Zlomke and Dixon, understanding gambling from a behavior analytic perspective poses a unique challenge. Though challenging, Zlomke and Dixon examined the influence of self-rule on response allocation in 9 undergraduate students. In order to assess response allocation, participants were offered a choice between 2 slot machines that contrasted only by color. One slot machine's color was yellow and the other was blue. Relational training with contextual cues was conducted to establish greater than and less than relations amongst the colors yellow and blue. Yellow represented greater than, while blue represented less than. Stimuli used for relational training supported varying relational concepts such as ranking, values, and size. Results suggested that a preference for the yellow slot machine over the blue slot machine can be created through transfer of stimulus functions. So, expanding upon Zlomke and Dixon, Hoon, Diamond, Jackson, and Dixon investigated the influence of self-rules on response allocation. 6 university students completed a gambling pre-test and post-test. These tests consisted of the presentation of 2 slot machines, one with yellow representing the contextual cue for more than, and the other with blue representing the contextual cue for less than. Relational training and testing were used to effectively establish contextual functions for the colors yellow and blue. Results indicated the percentage of response allocation to the yellow more than slot machine during pre-test and post-test averaged 18% during pre-test and 71% during post-test. So now the purpose of the present study was similar to Zlomke and Dixon and Hoon, Diamond, Jackson, and Dixon. This study intends to investigate whether contextual cues will influence response allocation among concurrently available gambling options. A 27-year-old Caucasian male agreed to participate in this study. The participant reportedly has gambled but does not enjoy gambling in casinos. He would rather bet amongst friends with like fantasy football. To begin this experiment, the participant selected between 2 slot machines, one generic and one themed. On the generic machine, rewards varied from 1 credit to 20,000 credits. Players could bet 1 credit or 3 credits on each spin. On the candy-themed machine, rewards were not displayed. Players had multiple betting options. They could choose between betting 1 line, 3 lines, 5 lines, 7 lines, or 9 lines, which equaled 1 credit, 3 credits, 5 credits, 7 credits, and 9 credits respectively. Following the 50 trials of baseline, a mutual entailment with contextual cues procedure was conducted to bias responding. This procedure established the people with candy as happier individuals. After the procedure, another 50 trials were conducted to examine response allocation. Average response latency during baseline trials was 1.26 seconds. During the post-test trials, the average response latency was 1.22 seconds. The participant responded toward the slot machine that was trained as happier following the mutual entailment with contextual cues training procedure. However, the validity of this study is weak due to a small sample size. Another cause of weak validity in the present study is due to the experimental design. Only one treatment condition was used. Future researchers should include a reversal phase to examine whether slot machines are chosen as an effect of the intervention. Finally, the participant reported that he does not enjoy gambling on slot machines. A South Oaks Gambling Scale or SOGS assessment would strengthen this claim. The SOGS assessment is a questionnaire that determines the risk of pathological gambling. Future research should include a SOGS assessment for all participants prior to initiating the study. The present study intended to address manipulation of problem gambling behaviors. Manipulation by means of mutual entailment with contextual cues produced a foundation for future researchers to expand upon. Thanks for listening.